Hurricane Hugo, 35 years later. It's the storm that we compare all others to in Charlotte.
Earlier today at 5 and 6, Channel 9 climate reporter Michelle Alfini took us through the night when Hugo made landfall.
Hurricanes happen on the coast. They didn't happen here.
I don't remember a storm like that ever coming through Charlotte.
Now she is taking us through more of that event.
We were basically working from the substation out to the last customer on the line.
With roughly 85% of Charlotte in the dark and trees everywhere, Rob Combs says Duke Power, as it was known at the time, had to start where they safely could.
It was rebuilding, quite frankly, a whole lot of the infrastructure that we had out there to serve our customers.
Complete restoration took 3 weeks, while in South Charlotte, Trip Gabriel says neighborhoods left waiting did as much as they could for themselves.
If you had a chainsaw, you grabbed it and you helped a neighbor.
Without power, everything in the freezer went on the grill.
It didn't matter, if you didn't even know your neighbor. I met a lot of neighbors at that time that I didn't know.
Mecklenburg County declared a state of emergency. Rusty Roselle was responsible for making sure those without power could still get clean water.
Anybody that had a well, they were out of water, and that's a big deal. And we didn't have tens of thousands of generators to give out to people to power their individual wells, so what we would do is provide them with bottled water.
And in Union County.
This is not just another tree on another house.
I think about that all the time.
A 6-month-old boy was killed by a fallen tree.
It was just terrible. They had put him into bed on his crib on the top floor, and a tree just came right through the roof and into his crib.
Hurricane Hugo killed 86 people in total, 4 in the Charlotte area. At the time, it was the costliest storm to hit the United States. But in the decades since, Charlotte and the entire Carolina coast have grown, putting hundreds of thousands more in harm's way.
Damage to property would be more. The damage to the transportation system would be more. More people. I think it would be really hard.
NASA reports the number of hurricanes doesn't seem to be increasing, but their intensity is as our atmosphere and oceans warm. Roselle believes the Carolinas should remember Hugo and prepare accordingly, because if it happened once, it can happen again.
People have a way of putting those things out of their mind, but never did go out of my mind. I think once you live through it, it's something that you don't tend to forget.
In Charlotte, Michelle Alfini, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
People will absolutely never forget.
Yeah, what a mess around here. It's shut down for weeks.
And what Rusty said is absolutely right. It can happen again. It will happen again. Nobody knows when, but on average, it's about 1 out of 8 years you get a tropical cyclone of that magnitude in the southeast. So the law of averages are not favoring us.